Good afternoon to one and all present today. I am Swaroop Gandevar, mentor with Mentor Card, and today you all are welcome to one more Mentor Card live session. And as you all are aware that today our topic is Millennials, the entrepreneurial generation. Mentor Card has always believed that today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, whatever you talk about, it is the millennials, it is the generation that is going to be the future of this country. And when we talk about millennials, there are a lot of things that come to our mind. One of them is being an entrepreneur. So today we are extremely happy and delighted to have such extra talented and such multi-talented mentors with us who are going to guide us, who are going to discuss on various aspects of entrepreneurship for millennials. So we have Aprajita Prasad and we have Ranjan Kumar, who are also mentors with MentorCard. And before we start, let me quickly share a few things about our mentors. So let me give you a fast and small introduction about our mentors today. So Aprajita is basically an IIM Ahmedabad alumni. She is a renowned corporate leader and subject matter expert with 15 years of experience in business research and strategic consulting across Europe and India. She has worked with across many companies, including Accenture, TCS, Evaluaserve, Hedrick, and Struggler, etc. She later joined new startups and contributed to their success. Currently, she is founder and director of MetaConnect Consulting, as well as partner and ecosystem specialist with to startups and on advisory board of many incubators and accelerators. Welcome, Aprajita. Our second mentor for today, Mr. Ranjan Kumar. He's a strategic business management professional, leading successful business at MNCs, creating new profitable and sustainable business amid changing business environment. He is engaged with so many things. He's effectively engaged cross-functionally with customer executives and CXOs, engage and lead direct and cross-functional teams in matrix structure to create disruption for growth. He has been doing a lot of things. He's lead speaker in CIO and other industry forums. So we welcome our second mentor for today, Mr.
Thanks, Saurabh.
Ranjan Kumar. Yeah.
Thank you.
To start with the thing, Aprajita, whenever we talk about millennial generation and when we talk about their aspiration, so there is something which is very interesting. This is a generation which likes to take challenges, and they say that entrepreneurship is a challenge. So, what do you think?
First of all, thanks, Swaroop. Thanks for inviting us here. Thanks, Ashish, for inviting us here and for such a wonderful introduction for all of us. So it's always been great to share the dais with the like-minded people and especially at MentorCard. It's an amalgamation of all of us who loves to share the experiences we have gone through. Interestingly, it's a very interesting topic, Swaroop, when you talk about the millennials. The future of the entire ecosystem or the world, more so into the entrepreneurial network. Let's first quickly understand who are these millennials. When we talk about the millennials, technically, this is between those people who are born between 1981 and 1996, right? That's the window that comprises of the millennials. Before that, they are the generation X, and post that is the generation Z. So the people who are currently at the in the age group of 39 to 24, I would say that ways, because 81 seconds if you see it. So this group between the age group of 24 to 39, they constitute this millennial generation, and they are somebody who has great aspiration, great exposure, and great enthusiasm to take this forward. And they are also risk taking, like you mentioned. They are very risk taking, and they want to get into the entrepreneurial ecosystem much before what the generation X or the silent generation used to do. They want to come into it. So that's on one side is good trend. They are risk bearers and they can take things at a high energy level, but at the same time there are a lot of challenges that's thrown to them because of it, right? When we talk of these challenges, one of the most important parameter that comes through is lack of experience.
Hmm.
because energy they have, but they don't have that experience, which also leads to a lot of networking. If you have worked for some time, you have built your ecosystem or network, which is very important to grow your business, which is very important to take things to a growth phase or to the next level. So that's something where these people, initially have the challenges. Lack of patience. Instead of saying experience, I would say that's a lack of patience. That's good in a way. That impatience is good to grow things over, but at the same time, it has to be nurtured or channelized in a good manner. And that's where the role of mentors come into play. That they lack this experience, they lack this ability to have a broader network. That's what a mentor can provide. That's what, that experience, that holding hand, that is what a mentor can provide with this energy system that the millennial has. And that's a beautiful amalgamation of the energy, enthusiasm, and the experience together. And that's beautifully what is being actually done at mentorcart. No, it brings the expertise of the mentors, as well as it brings the entrepreneurs fresh energy, zeal, new ideas to that platform. So it's like the marriage between the energy and the experience. So that's the benefit that the millennials should take, and leverage it to the maximum.
Absolutely. Very well pointed out. Because when we talk about millennials, we are talking about a generation who has actually seen probably two recessions. So
Yes.
even after that, if there is no impact on their spirit. So talking about spirit, Ranjan, could you
Yeah.
please share with us your views on how this millennial generation is well poised with a lot of entrepreneurial spirit, and how that X factor within them, it is helping them overcome disruptions and come up with a very innovative ideas.
Yeah. So I think very very good questions, and thanks Prajita for setting up the pace and the pitch, and also clarifying it that where this particular generation stand. The interesting part of this generation is, as you rightly said, from born between 81 to 96, age of 24 to 39. So they have seen a world which was devoid of mobile and devoid of internet, and they've also seen all the latest technology coming in. So the kind of appreciation which they have in terms of the change in the business dynamic, in the change of the behavioral pattern, in terms of the change in the social fabrics, is change of the uh, adaptation of newer technologies and the new businesses coming out of it. You know, so that knowledge is very rare to this particular generation, uh, as compared to any generation prior to that, or any generation after that. You know, so they've seen the struggle part of it, and also uh, thing where things have become easier for them. So that struggle part which they've seen, so they would like to take on these opportunities, and grab these opportunities, that why I can't be a entrepreneur. And they've also seen, in fact, people losing jobs also at times, that their parents losing jobs. So they thought, is that corporate job is the end thing for me, or it is which will
Mhm.
carry me till my age, till 60 or 58, whatever it is. The things are changing very fast, which they see in the past. In spite of putting 20 years, 25 years of this thing into a job, and then one fine they realize they're nowhere. You know, and whatever they have contributed till 20 years or 25 years, what is that you contributed, which is going to give them benefit for next 15, 20 years, which they want to work. You know. And that's a question which everybody has. This is from one point of view. Second comes from the point of view that whatever I am doing, is it making a meaning to me? And is it creating a meaning to me? Am I satisfied? Am I trying to do what I love doing it? And these are multiple questions which they, get up with every morning, and then they say, and some of them decide, yes, I want to jump into the entrepreneurship. You know. And that is what the drive which they get, this particular generation. And they're more equipped to do so because they've seen the hardship of prior internet days, and where they have to write their resume and go with the resume to the consultant or to the companies, And now it's the time of email where they go and do it, and in fact they do most of the things on this thing. Yeah, you wanted to add something, Aprajita?
Yes, yes. Also, very interesting points that you're saying, Ranjan. So I just, when you talked about this ecosystem, the support also, let's face it, the kind of support this generation is getting in terms of the incubators or such tech platforms is also very instrumental in taking this forward for their entrepreneurial journeys. Say, for example, 10 years or 15 years down the line, this entrepreneurship was not much encouraged in our society also as a career path.
True, true.
So now with the kind of support they are getting with the incubators, accelerators, meeting people, the support that they require, that's also an aid to the dreams that they have. Earlier, this wasn't the case. If you and I would have thought about it, the only thing we knew कि पढ़ाई के बाद नौकरी करनी है.
Exactly. Nobody. I really sometimes I tell my son, look, you're so fortunate. At least your daddy is telling you that there's something beyond job. We should do it.
Yes.
We should think. We should not think immediately. If you struggle for coming 5 years, I'll support you. But
Yes.
next 50 years, 30 years is something which is going to be something on your own which you're going to create. So that is for the newer generation. But nevertheless, for this particular generation which you're talking about it, rightly said, Aprajita, the ecosystem is really ripe here to get into it and start. And even the age doesn't matter, whether you start at 38, 39 or at 38, it doesn't simply matters, And you're more informed right now. So that's the reason.
Aprajita, yeah, absolutely right. Ranjan, absolutely right. Well stated. On this point, Aprajita, I want to ask you one thing. Like you have stated one thing, that this generation is very lucky. So don't you think that technology is one of the biggest boon that they have today, and they need to leverage it?
Totally, Swaroop. Can't agree more to it. This generation is such a big, privy to a lot of technology, the platform, and that's what is aiding to their growth. Something which earlier took, say, for example, 10 years in their growth journey, with the help of technology, would take, say, 1 year to grow. The kind of technology support that is available, the awareness about technology. This generation is so much tech savvy, they can get things done much easier. So that is definitely a big support that they are getting to grow their things in a much more wonderful manner. And not just about the being so tech savvy or something. Even if one of the things that the entrepreneurs do, they hire people, right? So at the moment, the availability of this talent pool, the tech savvy talent pool, is also cheaper than any time earlier. Earlier, hiring somebody to get a website or even a e-commerce platform or an aggregator platform was very expensive. Nowadays, that's more.
True.
With all of us, migrating to the web or the digital platform, the technology is within reach of everyone. It's not for the chosen few. And that is a key determining factor for this millennial generation. They understand technology, they utilize technology, they hire people to do their technological work. And that definitely is a big boon.
And plus the maturity which comes along with them, with the experience which they have.
Just imagine, we all are talking right now. We are exploring this. This is a outcome of technological benefit that we are reaping out. That's getting to the masses while sitting at our homes. That is the beauty, and this would reach a lot of millennials because they are again on technology-driven social and digital platforms. So that's the beauty. They are adding to it also and reaping the benefit also, both sides.
Absolutely. So, Ranjan, when we talk about entrepreneurship, there are a lot of myths about entrepreneurship, and a lot of people, they have this fear. But we have to tell them that don't worry, dear, because we are here and will guide you. So please guide them in terms of how to be a successful entrepreneur.
How to be a successful entrepreneur? I think it's $1 million question which nobody has able to crack it. Let me put it up front to you. But yes, there are certain traits, certain things which you need to follow so that the chances of your success is better, slightly better than if you not follow all those things. When you talk of being a successful entrepreneur, and being an entrepreneur and being a successful entrepreneur, start with self, start with yourself, and that is very important. So when you're starting this journey, you do not see what is on your left side, what is on your right side. Yes, you need to see what is in your front, not even at the back. What is not in the
Absolutely.
back, because that's the only focus. Because the day you will start seeing what is on left and right and the back, surely somewhere will start having doubts on you, and that is something we should can't afford to happen, right? And I don't know whether you've seen the movie Forrest Gump. Most of the people have
Yes.
seen it.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful movie. Few movies when you see it really create an impact on your life. That it's not that how good you are. It's about your tenacity, the way you stick to your uh, things which you believe in it, or something which you have. You have something good about you. You stick to that something that good about it and carry it on. And every day you need
Run,
to
Forest,
remind,
run.
yeah. And every day to remind that this is what you're supposed to achieve and do. And trust me, if you become the best in that particular aspect, you create that niche for yourself, and the business is automatically which grows. But it requires a lot of, unfortunately, it requires a lot of patience and a lot of support from your family, from friends, from others, because and that's required, and a lot of support from a mentorship also, because that anyway we'll talk about that particular this thing a little later. So here uh, all these factors become very important. And also, when you get into this, you have to validate. So, with the ecosystem, you need to validate your ideas. You need to see who all can come and support you for your ideas in your journey. This is very important because you can't do it alone. So, to look for the partnership. Either partnership come in terms of the mentorship, partnership come in actual people who support you on the ground, or somebody who help you with technology, or it could be anything which you think it could there. So all these factors put together, help you succeed it. And you also need to be ready to pivot, to even to change from where you are, because there's a lot of tweaking would be required on the way. It's not that I've thought of it and I'll continue no matter what happened. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to keep checking and validating it. Is my this particular thought idea is right? Is it going to give me that return or whatever success I'm? If not, can I
Mm.
tweak it slightly? Can I add something more to it? So this evaluation is a continuous, and this will continue till you're successful also. So you have to be flexible, but still very, very firm in what you believe and do that. So I think these are the few things which I feel need to have it in an entrepreneur to be a successful. You know. Otherwise, just Apajita, you can add if you want to add something on it.
No, that's really to the
It's
point what you're
really,
saying. Yeah,
yeah,
that there is no fixed
absolutely,
formula to
absolutely.
be a successful entrepreneur. But yes, you need to keep inventing yourself, like you said about the Forest Gump. That one statement that's always there in my head as well. Run, Forest, run. You have to keep improving yourself. You have to keep. Persistence is the keyword. There would be ups and
Absolutely.
downs in whatever you do in life, but persistence is the key word. So, and to the main
Absolutely.
question that Swaroop you were saying, uh, can we have any success formula for for any formula for the success? There is no fixed formula. That's what otherwise we would all have been after it.
Everybody will have been successful, actually. Yeah.
Yes, but then success is also a very
See,
debatable
when
term.
I was yeah, I was when I was asking this question, I had this thing in my mind. Like
Hmm,
you both are successful entrepreneurs.
hmm,
So there are always certain personal experiences. There are
yeah,
certain things that
hmm,
when we discuss with people, so they come to know that there are two ways we, as an individual, we can learn. We can learn
hmm,
from others' failures, but you can learn big time from others' success stories. So when as an individual we share our success stories with people, obviously it helps them because they start connecting with that thought. And apart from that, I believe that two main aspects when we talk about entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur. It is all about our core competencies, which we should figure out and obviously work on them to understand which is the core area into which we should get into. And the second most important aspect that I want Aparajita to share or talk about, like what inspired you or motivated you to be an entrepreneur?
Swaroop, that's something, when I talk about it, it's like I always wanted to do something on my own. And coming from a salaried middle class family, from our generation, trying to do something on your own was like, ye kuch din ka bukhar hai utar jayega, right? So, we don't do those things. But somewhere deep
True.
down my heart, I always wanted to do things which was at times even ridiculed. But I was like, "ठीक है, मेरा वक्त आएगा." So, but then my journey had been something. I started my journey, like you mentioned in the intro, from established players. I learned it from the established
Hmm.
player, whether it is Accenture, TCS, I learned it from them. Towards the later part of my
Hmm.
career, I got myself associated with those growing or the startups from where you can build things from scratch.
True.
That gave me a free hand to try things out without being uncertain about salary kahan se aa rahi hai. So I had that intact, right? So then after learning and practicing it on things, so on safe secure jobs, then I started on my own. So that was something that kept the journey together, if I would say. So that until as you have to learn, you have to network, and like you said, you have to learn from people who have done it. And
Hmm.
also in one of key things that we talk about at ideation level, you have, when you evaluate anything, you evaluate both. How is your product, your service, or your technology better than what is existing in the market, because that is where you would take the market share, or how you are different than what has failed. Because if we also look into the failures, it saves my, say for example, 6 months or 1 year time, because I would not make that mistake. So again, I would boil down to that point, that connecting to the right mentor is something like that helps you. And when we talk about mentors, mentors can vary at each stage in your life. A mentor may be very relatable to you. I can't have a mentor who is 10 steps ahead of me. He would not be able to understand my challenges. To him, my struggles would be very petty. So at times we need to have that kind of a mentorship who can actually understand, imbibe, and suggest solution based on our actual need. With whom we don't need to hold any curtains or face off. So that actually that mentor can help you out. So it's like that person could be just, say for example, 1 or 2 years ahead in your entrepreneurial journey. So that person could be the best app how he got over those challenges, right?
I will
Also,
add, yeah. Sorry, I'll add,
sure.
even those people who are uh, also part of, recently got into the entrepreneurship in 3, 4, 5 years. Age could be different. They could be much senior to you,
Yes,
but they will bring more this knowledge because they have a corporate experience also, plus their startup experience also. They could be a right mentor because at times for certain things, because they can relate to your journey, which you rightly said. Yeah.
yes. So they could relate to your journeys. Also, your maybe if I have a growth issue with my company at this point, somebody who had a growth issue in last century would not be able to help me out. It has to be in the relevant time zone. It's all, everything is a function of time. So that's also very important when we choose our mentors. And without mentors, you would be like trying to swim on your own, lost in all the direction. It becomes very challenging. And honestly, we all have had some or the other person as our mentor. Even the mentors have mentors. If
It's true.
I or you are on a platform, being giving to people as mentorship, even I have my own personal mentors. So
I agree.
that's the beauty. It's like a journey everyone needs to be a part of. It's a chain, evaluation chain. So that's very important. Also, when you talk of this millenniums and their aspirations, Swaroop, they are somebody who look up to things in a very different manner than a generation behind them. They choose to make their own decisions. They like freedom. They have risk taking appetite. you know uh, they want to change things, and they are the point from where new ideas, new innovations come into play. So the requirement of a mentorship for this generation is way beyond than what somebody had a few generations ago. Now, circling back to your question, what you started my journey, that's where I said I learned it from the established player, practiced it on funded growing startups, then started on my own. And trust me, in all these different phases, I held hands closely with my seniors, my mentors, my role models, because they are the one who drives motivation. Now if I say,
True.
being a
Correct.
woman, my challenges could be a little different than what others face. So I would also relate to somebody who is a woman founder. The way she maneuvered her ways, that could be little more relatable to me. So we need to find people and get hold to them, build a connect to them, so that at any person they are there to hold us, not just to bring profitability into the balance sheet, but also to keep the motivation level high. That's equally important. If you are energetic, if you are enthusiastic, if you are motivated, you would make even not so great looking situations turn its shape and bounce back to life. So that's the journey been. And I hold with a lot of respect to all my mentors, and I'm really thankful to them.
That's really well stated, because I firmly believe that every individual has a fantastic and phenomenal journey. Being
Yes,
an entrepreneur, it's a big thing. It's a very big thing. Uh,
right.
Being successful or not, that's a different part of ball game altogether, because every coin has two sides. But
Yes.
even if you are not successful, then what you have learned being an unsuccessful, that is a huge learning.
Also,
You
sort of,
want to add something?
when I said in the earlier part of our discussion, success is a very debatable term. So, what a success
True,
may
true,
mean to me may not be success to somebody else. So again,
absolutely,
it's a very relative word.
absolutely,
So I don't give a lot of
true.
emphasis to this particular word, but to quantify into different things. Success could be some peace to somebody's, it could be some growth numbers to somebody, it could be some network event to somebody. It's a lot different to different people.
Absolutely. So, Ranjan, I would like to have your views on MentorCard. What do you think? How is this platform, and how it is going to be a very helpful thing for yeah, not just millennial, for Gen Z also?
Yeah, so this is a live example which we're having it right now itself, where the mentors are coming here and interacting, live with the people, and who are able to understand that yes, this is also a possibility. A mentorship is
Yeah,
also a possibility. I can
Yes.
approach my mentors, and there are so many
true.
ecosystems available, where I can get in touch with them. And if I'm not able to get in touch with any mentor, at least I know there's a mentor card as a platform where I can find the relevant mentor, you know
Yes.
and so this is a unique way of even for the mentors to come forward, and even for the who are seeking mentorship, and so they can also come forward here. Now what Aprachita also rightly said, there are, we not only, it's not about mentorship doesn't only means that it's about advising only about business or sales or processes or your finance. It's not, it's beyond that. It's about ensuring the mental and the physical state of the person whom is going to mentor. That's very important, because he's many times the person is emotionally disturbed, or he's not having that somehow that motivation to move forward. And that's the time when the mentors comes, look, you're good, continue with it, this is what it is, this is what you need to maintain, then the business will happen. So there's many factor to it. So the mentor might pitch in on various aspects of the whole journey, and that is what the person need to understand. Yeah.
True, true. Very,
Absolutely,
very well
absolutely.
said. And like Ranjan was saying, he comes from a technological background, so he would be able to appreciate that the amalgamation of this marriage of technology and mentorship coming together with this platform
Yes,
at Mentor Card. This is beautiful. At
true,
just at one click,
true.
you have access to everyone across the geographies, across the globe, across pan India, everywhere. Whosoever you want to reach out to, you can reach and seek support and help. This is the best that technology can provide. Otherwise, we used to find our own mentors, and a lot of times people could not even find their apt or the relatable
True.
mentors. But this is the first of its kind that technology is providing people the mentors. This is beautiful, and I think this would be a big game changer for this millennials and also the generation Z that's coming, because now they are such techno savvy people. We want everything on our fingertips, and that's where innovative ideas like mentor cards are very helpful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a wonderful session today, and we have actually discussed all the horizons of entrepreneurship from the millennials' perspective. And I firmly believe that in time to come, Mentor Card will be a one-stop solution for all the aspects. So, we request you to download the Mentor Card app, have an interaction with our experienced mentors, share your questions, they'll answer your queries. If you wish, you can have one-to-one interaction with our mentors. And when you have a lovely interaction with such mentors, I don't think that there is any chance of failure in your life. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll definitely meet you in the next Mentor Card Live. Thanks a lot, Ranjan. Thanks a lot, Aprajita, for joining us today and sharing your valuable experience. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Saurabh.
Swaroop.
Thank you.
Thanks, Swaroop. Take care. Bye.